Sweet Potato Saturday. Let's talk a little bit about sweet potatoes. And it's Saturday, and you know what that means. We're going to go to you. We're going to celebrate what's going on in your garden. Come on, let's plant. For us, the easiest way we found to grow sweet potato slips is when you go to cook them, you cut that top off. We just set that in a little glass of water, and they go ahead and make slips right there. Or, here's the easier way. I just leave them on the counter. And pretty quick, they start making slips. We peel them off, and then we put them in glasses of water to go ahead and continue to root. And then we put them in the ground. And you were here with me a month or so ago when we planted these. These were the first slips we grew, and they've got a little head start. Here's a trick the old farmer gave me. As your vines grow, if they get in your walkway as an example, just cut them back, and then he just used to stick them in the ground. They continued to make potatoes, which to me says we can go ahead and plant even into the summer. These are our last slips. I want to get these in the ground. Here's another tip about sweet potatoes, and I've got a lot of comments on this. They think I throw these leaves away. We don't. And the best part is this end. I sure do like these, but they're very nutritious, and you can go ahead and eat the leaves as the tubers are growing all season long. And then at the end, when you go ahead and harvest, you got double the crop. I like to pinch off the ends and eat them while I'm out here in the garden. And that's such a light, wonderful taste. Try your sweet potato leaves. Let's get these in the ground. Now that was our front patch that we planted quite a bit earlier. These haven't been in near as long. But let's go ahead and add around to the outside. Just like everything else, just pull that mulch back down the soil. Now I'm just opening up a little trench around the edge here. The tip about being able to cut those vines and replant them is going to come in handy, because they're going to want to go out here into the walkway. And I'm going to get in trouble, but this is where I'm planting them. The entire stem will root, so you can plant these however deep you want to plant them. I'm just loosening up this soil. See the roots on that? We got pretty good roots on that. Just want to get that buried. And I'm just going to take that on up to the leaves. Now I'm planting these pretty close. It's going to be a pretty tight group here. When you're doing this, do not worry if you lose some leaves. They'll come back with a vengeance. Don't worry about it if you lose some leaves. They're going to come back with a vengeance. Trust me. Then we're just going to mulch back as we go. Just right up to those leaves. Well, let me get the rest of these in. Guess we're going to have to find another spot to put these other ones in. And that's just how fast you can go ahead and plant a whole bunch of sweet potatoes. And we've just doubled the size of our sweet potato patch. It is Saturday. You know what we do on Saturdays. We celebrate what's going on in your garden. I want to thank Angela for the cup of coffee. That'll allow me to come out here, take a little break, then we'll find another spot to put these sweet potatoes. Let me tell you a couple stories about friends of this channel. I want to start off with Tony. Tony's a first-time contributor. Look at this soil. This looks like a beach. But she's using containers. She's trying to amend this sand. She says she's never grown anything before in her life, and she's just delighted that things are actually growing a little bit. Tony, this is wonderful. Welcome to this community, and thank you for giving us some motivation to go out there and try to grow something. You get a couple wins under your belt. Depending on how well you do this year, you put a little more mulch down, and next season will be twice as good. So I've been waiting on this carrot to go to seed, and this seed head is doing really well. We still got a bunch of flowers, so I'm not going to take this out quite yet, but I do have a little bit of room back here. I think I'm going to put a couple of these sweet potatoes in with the ones we already got in here. We're going to get a great big bed of sweet potatoes. While I do that, let's look at another new contributor to this channel. Jim started gardening last year with one small raised bed. He had some success, and now look, he's expanded to couple raised beds, and containers. And just look at those tomatoes. It's going to be a really good year, Jim. Thank you for showing the progression of your garden. Please leave a comment down below and let everybody know just how much you appreciate them sharing what's going on in their garden. Now right here, these onions, they had started to make onions on the counter, so we took the good part off, rooted the rest of them, and I put these out here in the middle of the winter. And I've been kind of waiting, but I need this area for these sweet potatoes. Look at that. I thought they froze, but they made nice onions. And I got another one here. Oh, those are gorgeous. You can regrow your vegetables. And I planted them right here next to this lettuce that came up on its own. I put some totes over it over the winter, and we've been eating off of this. Now it's going to go to seed. I'm going to go ahead and plant some sweet potatoes right here. But like with everything else, we're just going to pull that mulch back down to soil. And you can see how moist this soil still is, even though how hot it is right now. The humidity's up, the wind's blowing a little bit. And some of the larger leaf plants are drawn back just to save their moisture. A lot of times with squash, it may look like it needs water, but this evening these will be pumped right back up. Look at that, and even in this heat, we got okra flower popping open. Well, I go ahead and get these sweet potatoes in. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of our contributors we've been following the last couple years. If you look at the garden now, you wouldn't know the troubles they had when they started. Deer came in and ate everything. Voles came in and ate half their sweet potatoes. They just kept right after it. Look what's possible in your garden. Mike, Linda, you've been a great inspiration to this group, and we sure appreciate you sharing. I planted these kind of thick. We'll see what we get. I want to go check out this cabbage. Now that we got some really nice onions, oh, I think this cabbage is just about ready to come in. This one's got a week or so. That one's got about a couple weeks. This one's good and firm. I think tomorrow we're going to make green tomato chow chow. We'll have to harvest this. And I sure hope you join me for that. Oh. I do want to thank Angela for the coffee this morning, and Tommy, I want to thank you for the cup of coffee. I'm going to go in and have that right after I have my strawberry. Now you can do this too. If you want to help motivate people to learn how to grow gardens, I invite you to become a member of this group. There's no commitment involved. All you have to do is send in a photo now and again and show everybody what's possible in your garden. The 3 contributors we looked at today is definitely an example of flower where you root. You start on the ground that you've got, you start small, you work your way up, and look what's possible. You can do this too. I encourage you to get your hands dirty, go out there, pick your own food. I'm sorry, that's why we do it. I'm always amazed at just how good it tastes when there's no chemicals on there and it's fresh off the vine. Till next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant. Let's go plant garden.